Hi and welcome to 10 Things Tech. Many things have happened in the world of technology the last days, and I want to present you with the 10 things in tech I found the most interesting. You'll find all the links to them in the description below for further infos. Number 1. Volunteer crew begins an 8-month mission to Hawaii. 6 volunteers out of the High Seas, that is Hawaiian Space Exploration, Analog and Simulation Project, will spend 8 months in an experiment to simulate a stay on Mars. They were simulating Mars, and it was his 5th simulation on the slopes of Mauna Loa, and this is because it's on 2.5 kilometers height or 8,200 feet. It is conducted by the University of Hawaii, and they did simulations already since 2012. They got $1.2 million in NASA funding and received another $1 million. Number 2. Lavabit relaunches secure email service 4 years after being shut down due to Snowden. So when Snowden leaked the prison details, he used Lavabit. Lavabit is a secure email service, and as it was known that what he did, the US government pressured Lavabit to give out the encryption keys for the email, but instead of handing them out, they just shut down the service. And now, 4 years later, it's announced by its founder, Lada Levison, that the service will be relaunched. Former users will be able to use their old accounts, others are allowed to sign up soon, and there are of course discounts for earlier sign-ups. Number 3. The laziest way to sharpen a knife. The YouTube channel, The Art of Weapons, presented an update for his knife sharpening technique on his channel. It is known that working with a sharp knife is a lot more fun and even prevents injuries because the knife is actually doing what you want and is not slipping or stopping from cutting something. And the technique is very nice because all you need is a bench grinder, some wood that you can cut into a wheel, and abrasive paste. And he goes through it in the video. And the explanation that I would give for this is that you use very fine particles at very high speed. The sharpening is very fine, but the speed is so high, so it's still working at a proper speed. Number 4. Robot skin senses warm bodies like a snake. This is due to a research project from the ETH Zurich. It's a flexible, transparent coating made of pectin, and which is then dipped in calcium chloride. So in pectin, you may know, but it's also, for example, used in strawberry jam to set the jam. It's very low cost, and yeah, you can eat it. And it's very cheap. The temperature changes influence the film's resistance, so you have contacts on the outside and on the inside. And due to the temperature change, you can then measure the resistance. This then leads to a sensitivity of 10 millikelvin, which is basically 100 degrees Celsius, and it is twice as sensitive as human skin, and can sense the heat of a microwave teddy bear from 2 meter distance. Yes, you had right, they apparently did that. So the implication means, for example, could be used for industrial robots to prevent injury to bystanders, and artificial skin, of course, for prosthesis, so that the wearers of those can regain sensory feedback. Kinda neat. Number 5. The Atlas Fight Flight SBIRS GEO-3 was supposed to be done at Thursday, but the launch was halted after some sensory issue. That was fixed, but the flight had to be scrapped again after an airplane entered the missile's safe space without enough time in the flight window to try again. But they started at Friday, and it was very smooth and all ran according to plan. So congratulations to United Launch Alliance for that. And what they brought up to space is a US Air Force 3rd space-based infrared system, geosynchronous missile detection satellites, and it's now safely in orbit with its 2 brothers to have infrared surveillance of, you can do weather data, or you can also see something other happens that is not really good for the country. Number 6. The army got a new sidearm, the SIG Sauer P320. So Uncle Sam decided to replace the Army's M9, also called Beretta, with the SIG Sauer P320 modular handgun. It offered a contract for $500 million to SIG Sauer, and they already ordered the first bunch of guns for $100 million. The pistol is very interesting because you can, for example, swap out the caliber very easy. You just disassemble it, swap out the barrel in a few parts, and really quickly you can get to another caliber and then use it for another job. A lot of money that can be put into further development for SIG Sauer, so definitely a good deal that they did there. Number 7. Martian windchill. So this was a find that's from a study which is already older but is more and more interesting for the future, and it's about the temperature on Mars. So Mars has an average temperature ranging from -60 to -120 degrees Celsius. So, but 20 degrees Celsius isn't 20 degrees Celsius. It's about how fast the environment actually also sucks the energy out of you. For example, compare 20 degrees Celsius on the air with 20 degrees Celsius in the water, and you can see why -40 degrees on Mars with a thin atmosphere doesn't really have to be that cold. So, and Randall Roshishevsky from the Defense Research and Development in Canada did this research, and with keeping in mind that, for example, Mars has a very thin atmosphere and very low wind speeds, you can see that the temperature rarely goes so cold as you would assume. So while nobody would assume that you expose bare skin to the Mars atmosphere, this model shows that freezing on Mars is less a problem than propagated in movies, and without wind the felt temperature would not go past -18 degrees, and with an emergency you could seek a wind protected place and then you cuddle with your parka while you wait for help. So this is less of a problem previously assumed. Number 8. Seasteading Pacific in 2 years' time. The California-based Seasteading Institute has signed a contract with the French Polynesian government to begin construction in the Pacific in 2 years' time. The Seasteading Institute's goal is to build communities floating on the sea, and Polynesia, a nation that consists of many hundred islands, is looking for ways to escape from the islands, which are threatened to vanish with the rising sea levels. The first results will not expect it to look as revolutionary as the simulations promise, according to Randolph Henke, but with everything you have to start small somewhere and then you can scale up. Regarding technology, let's get to number 9. Elon Musk twittered that the next rocket will be expandable. So while SpaceX is known for landing its reusable rockets with breathtaking maneuvers, Elon Musk announced that this will not be the case on the launch of EchoStar 23 on January the 13th. So the rocket is expandable, as future flights will either be done with an upgraded Falcon 9 or the Falcon Heavy. So, and last but not least, 10. Beer on Moon. And no matter how much stuff there is to do, a beer fits always at the end. The scientists from the University of California designed a fermentation vessel the size of a beer can. And yeah, their excuse is the studying of behavior of yeast in space. This will be sent to the moon on the rover that will be sent there next. And yeah, then they can see if they can produce proper brew in space. So first, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of 10 Tech Things, and join in next time. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks a lot.